Name is Todd Ellis. Work as executive chef and pitmaster here at More Than Q Barbecue Company, Lambertville, New Jersey. A friend of mine, Ron Spada, had done this on the weekends and needed some help, and it was the furthest thing from my mind, and helped out on the weekends, started to learn a lot about it, and decided to take it full force. I've been doing Central Texas wood smoked barbecue pretty much for about 8 years now. Opened the restaurant 5 years ago this very month of October.
And welcome to an episode of Dish It Out, a very special episode. I'm Chef Doug Fee, and we are at the beautiful Culinary Center at Mercer County Community College. And joining me, of course, Frank Benowitz, Chef Frank Benowitz.
That's me.
That's you.
And every episode, as we always say, is special because this one, very much so, the smell of smoke, no smell-o-vision out there, but joining us is not just a chef, but a pit master. Pitmaster Todd Ellis, bring in the beef.
Yeah, buddy. We brought the beef today, too. This is a pretty big brisket. This is about a 21-pound brisket.
Holy Toledo, that's about a pound more than I can eat.
And most questions I get, a lot of guys come in the restaurant and they're novice smokers. And, and as far as chicken, pork, pretty much not heavy duty stuff, but it seems like the brisket is the toughest thing. It is it's the hardest piece of meat in what we do to perfect. It took me years, even coming into it as a 35-year food veteran. There was a lot to see and know about it. So I think that's the one thing I get questions most on is just, and the whole thing is to get good at brisket is to make bad briskets. And that's where you will finally, it's a lot of doing. It's a lot of time and a lot of looking. And I wish, guys always said, well, how long should I do it for? I got to tell you, every day I smoke these things, it's a different time. They are done when they're done.
Yeah, I was going to say till it's done.
Yeah, till it's done. I mean, and there's no rhyme or reason. You could have two sitting right next to each other on the smoker. One could be done 3 hours, the same size before the other one. It's a mystical piece of meat, the brisket.
So show us what you would do to this.
Absolutely. Well, everything's important about making this a success. It's a journey. It's a 3-day journey. In the smoking business, we want fat. But there's certain pieces of fat you have to take off of this.
Sounds like I have a new job offer there, Chef Fee.
Hey, please, we don't judge. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to leave like a 1/4 inch of fat on the brisket. And the levels of the fat run different. This front part, this is the flat right here, which is usually very lean. Okay, so we really don't want to touch a lot on that. That's going to need the fat. This is the leanest part of the brisket. We don't want it to dry out. But if we leave too much on, as we see like even in the back here, what's going to happen is we're not going to get clean slices. It's going to crumble. You want to try to use everything you can.
Of course, yeah.
That's every smart chef, every smart kitchen.
Yeah, we teach our students here that the animal did not die in vain. We're going to use every part of it, not just from a moral standpoint, but obviously the financial standpoint, as you're mentioning as well.
Now, being the pitmaster of Texas barbecue, does your Texas accent kind of throw them off a little bit?
Yeah. I know it's funny. People always ask me how much time I spent down there. I flew over it once, but I was lucky enough to do a lot of research. The guy that kind of brought me into this was a big South Carolina guy. But people come into the restaurant in Lambertville, and they don't even want to come in. What do these Jersey guys know about? And I'm the first to say I wasn't raised on it. It's like a religion to these Southerners.
Sure, yeah.
They are raised on it. They see it all the time. So they really, if it's not right, they're going to call you out on it.
Yeah,
they're going to, this isn't authentic, and we try to be as authentic as we possibly can. There's a little part right in here that you want to get. This brisket didn't need a lot of work, which is really nice. Sometimes it can be very, very clumpy with fat. And basically there'll be a big like triangle of fat in here that you want to get a little out of. But I got to tell you, this one I really like. I'm not going to do much too. And so once we get it to this point, we're going to dry rub it with our rub we put together. Now, I put my own little twist on it. We are trying to emanate Central Texas brisket. They're going to tell you salt and pepper.
Sure.
That's all you need. Yep. I've done that, and to me, it doesn't pop enough.
Okay.
It is cool. It is traditional, but I will certainly tell you what I mix in with it. But we pretty much equal parts of like a butcher black pepper, salt, and I like to use a little granulated garlic and a little onion just to give it just a little bit.
Well, you know what's in there. Yeah, I smell that garlic and onion in there. I agree. I mean, that's flavor.
And what we do is, I think another mistake a lot of guys do is they pound these things with the rub. Now, with our pork and our chicken, you're going to find brown sugar in our rub.
Okay.
You want that sweetness with the ribs, the chicken, and everything. Of course, you don't want anything sugar in. With this, it's going to have such a long smoke period that it's only going to end up burning.
Exactly.
And we just let it go on there. We don't press it into the meat. We just let it get on there. And so what that's going to do is that's going to sit overnight in the refrigerator, and you make sure you get all the little nooks and crannies.
All right, so what are you going to do now? You're going to put this in
so that's going to go overnight. That's going to sit all overnight, and then the very next morning at about 4 a.m., it's going to go on Lucille, our smoker. And so we'll give you a choice at More Than Q. Everybody has their preference. If you really dig Texas brisket, you want to go back point fatty.
Sure.
So we'll separate. This is what they call the flat. And there's also a reason why we're going to separate this too, because this is such an odd piece of meat. But as we get back to the point.
And real quickly while you're doing, oh my God. Oh, we need the lights. Now, real quickly though, this was the 21 pound approximately to begin with.
This is probably about 6 pounds, 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, look at the difference in size. Holy cow!
So we've got our flat, but when we go to the point now, if you remember, this is one thing a lot of other guys don't know is that they'll just keep slicing this down like this. Actually, the grain of the meat changes as you get near the point.
Sure.
For me, guys, this is where the burn ends come from. This is the best cut of brisket
and
right here.
A lot of people come in for burn ends, right?
And
Texas,
they do. And not everything you see is a great burn end, but your classic ones are going to come right off. This is a kind of happy about this brisket. I was sweating it out.
I'm telling you, like I said, like the
you never know when you get in front of a camera.
No, that's amazing.
But as you can see,
this is first go too. And you're plating this bad, but look how juicy that is.
And this is just
that's not dry at all.
This was a really, really nice brisket. So that's
Todd knows barbecue. He is More Than Q, right?
Guys, if you spend as much time doing it as I do it, you will get good at it too.
And you're plating it on this plate just to hold for us. I have a couple other plates for Chefy and I here. Feel free to get a couple plates going. These would be known as to-go containers, ladies and gentlemen.
And as we get down here, hey, if you wanted the burn ends, they're your burn ends.
Look, I'm just using this tongue and this fork. Like I'm helping.
So this is a really, really nice back plate.
Helping himself. He's always so shy. There is one way to keep him quiet. We're going to have you over more often, Chef Todd.
Oh, listen, I appreciate you guys. You kidding me? And then we go to the flat. We're going to get, this is what, once in a while I'll do in-house pastrami to where I'll just use the flats. But as you can see.
Make sure you call me when you do that.
And that's an 8-day in the brine.
Yeah. We just did that for our American Regional class. So we know that's even more love, if you will, in this, because, well, more patience, right? For that pastrami. Man, that is good.
Oh, well, thanks,
That
Chef.
is very, very good.
So now we could go there as individuals to the queue, right? But what if I want to have a party and a few of my friends?
You can. You can actually,
I think he's inviting me to a party.
well, I got to tell you, it's a very, very cool party you can have here because you get a really killer restaurant. We have just renovated to where our other side is set up like a stage. I have all my guitars there, all our music. We have all the local musicians coming and play on the weekend. So it's like a honky tonk. It's like a Texas Roadhouse. Something a blogger just wrote that she felt like she went down a side street in Nashville. She heard the music.
That's
She
awesome.
smelled. We've always got the smoker running, so it permeates through the whole entire town.
Look how juicy that is.
But yeah, even for the
my
flat, which
goodness.
some folks they want it a little
Chef, can I
leaner.
offer you some? It's nice to be able to offer somebody else's cooking to you.
Yes.
I'll put my dirty here because we always stress sanitation here, right?
And so you see this right here.
End or
This gets pushed to the side of the board. This I will chop up, and as people order our burn and baked beans, this is going to go in the baked beans.
oh, like a little garnish.
Right. It's also going to go in my chili.
Nice.
But and when we make our batches of beans, this is what this goes to. These are nice. These could be a little tough. These little burny ends. But in beans, they're going to be fantastic. They're going to cook down.
I mean, it holds together, but it just.
That's the trick, guys, with
you
trimming the fat. If you
Yeah.
left too much fat on it, the meat's going to break down too much. So basically, that's the brisket bend without breaking. This one really came out nice, man. But I got to tell you guys, this came here as a 40-year veteran chef. I can't tell you. Not bad. Not bad for a Jersey guy.
Not bad.
Wow,
Look at
this is a
that.
good brisket, actually.
damn
I never
good.
get a chance to eat them. I
Well,
got them all the time.
See, it's a good thing you're here, right? Look at that. It's falling
Wow.
apart.
God bless America. This is a really nice brisket, but you never know, guys. Briskets run hit and miss. That's why you have to. It's all about looking and seeing. If they're getting way too much bark, and you know that they are nowhere near finished, that's when I'll wrap them in butcher paper in Peachtree.
That's why it pays to have the expert do it for you.
Well,
It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Chef. Appreciate it.
That is a labor of love. Go visit More Than Q, one of the 3 locations. Have yourself a party. Chef V's inviting us. So come on down when he's inviting us.
Yeah, please. We've closed the place. Really, we're only open until 6 right now. But you can rent us out in Lambertville, and we'll provide music. And we close the doors. You have the whole place to yourself, and it's really a funky vibe. I mean, for what it costs to rent a firehouse, is what you can rent More Than Q for, and have your own little Texas barbecue for hours, and do with it what you want.
Whether it's a party or just one night, this is a party in my mouth, this brisket. I'm going to save my piece that you're giving it to go, and I'm going to do some brisket and eggs this weekend.
Oh, very cool. That's what we tell a lot of people to do with it. If you have it left over, because we give you a lot. We like to feed you there. And fajitas,
Oh, yeah.
killer fajitas. And I love it mixed in with an omelet in the morning.
Well, Pitmaster Todd Ellis, we're so thankful you took the time out of your busy schedule to come join us. We hope to see you at More Than Q as well, because I think Chef V and I are going to be heading there pretty soon.
I really hope to see you guys, man. Really hope to see you guys. Our pleasure having you.
So thank you for joining us here at our facilities here at Mercer County College, and join us for this edition of Dish It Out. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. You got more than me.
My name is Jim Barber, and I found the food industry about 15 years ago. I started in the food industry back in high school. I worked in restaurants my whole life. Started in dish, and then worked to a busser, and then a waiter, and then worked the bar, and I worked restaurants my entire life. So food is my passion, my drive. Yeah, I was in business my whole life, but I made this barbecue sauce, and people loved it. So I got into a couple local grocery stores, and kind of grew, and then eventually it became international product. At this point, I've expanded my lines out from barbecue sauce to smoked wings and things like that. So my barbecue sauce, I want it to be a staple in everybody's household. So I created down to the bone barbecue sauce. It's a sweet and tangy style barbecue sauce. It's really non-regional, so everyone loves it. Yeah, I eventually want to be sitting next to your Hellmann's and your Heinz ketchup in the refrigerator. So.
And welcome to Dish It Out here at the Mercer County Community College Culinary Center. I'm Doug Fee, coordinator of the programs here, and with me, of course, Chef Frank Benowitz.
That would be me. And joining us today, my good longtime friend. Should I say you're down to the bone?
Down to the bone, man.
That's his company.
That's it.
Chef Jim Barber's joining us today. And what are you making today for us, Jim?
We're going to make a pork ossobuco with a barbecue cherry demi-glaze at the end.
This is some meaty shanks you got.
Yeah,
there.
man, they're pretty meaty. They're really nice. We actually serve our pork ossobuco over at Chef 1275 Chef Jason. He's actually in Cranberry.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do an American fare there, so everything that we do here.
And does he use your down to the bone sauce to make this?
He does use my down to the bone sauce. Yes.
Well, let's give the viewers a little taste, if you will.
Sure.
And how are we going to run through this dish?
Sure. All right. So here's the deal. So we're gonna take a little bit of flour.
So get you hot over here.
Please.
Don't think the wrong way with it.
Oh no. Take a little flour here. And actually, while we're getting hot, I'll put a little grapeseed oil, high burn. So put a little salt, some pepper.
He's salt and pepper and a flour guy. Not everybody does that.
No. I like to impart the flavor actually into the flour, so when the crust is on the actual meat, it imparts a nice flavor. So
Season as you go.
season as you go.
We teach our students all the time. Season as you go.
Yeah.
Clean as you go.
That's key. Yes. Number one rule.
And taste it.
And taste it. Taste as you go along, because
Well, once it's cooked.
Yeah. Well. Exactly right.
The guest should not be your guinea pig, we say.
No.
We want to make sure we taste it and we're happy with it before we put it to somebody else.
That's it. Yeah. So then you're gonna flour your ossobuco, pork
Also
shanks.
known as dredging.
Dredging.
That sounds like a bad word, doesn't it?
Shake off your flour.
And as we tell our students, once you put in, the pan's really hot now, but once you put in your product, right, it cools the temperature of the pan, and
That's
then you
right.
just got to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't sneak back up on you.
There we go.
I'll put it down just a touch for you.
Below there.
This high temperature burner does the trick,
That's
right?
A little more grapeseed oil, just so it covers the bottom of the pan.
Now, while you're searing this, because it's going to take
Sure.
a little bit, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is your sauce, this down to bone. You said original.
It is.
And what makes this so special? I mean, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
I know your different sauces, your branding.
Yep.
And what makes this so special?
Well, this is it's not your typical vinegar-based heavy smoky barbecue sauce. It's a sweet and tangy style barbecue sauce. It's all natural. There's no artificial flavors, colors, preservatives. It's one of the lowest in sodium on the shelf. It's gluten-free.
Let's see that.
Yeah. It's really good
Oh, wow.
stuff.
90 milligrams of sodium per serving. That is
That's it.
low.
Yeah,
Are
absolutely.
you going to use this in here?
I am. We're actually going to use it on the sauce at the very end.
Okay, I'm going to open it now if that's
Sure.
okay.
Absolutely.
So I can get it.
Take a look at it.
Oh, yeah. Chef V, you want to get a whiff of that? Yeah, we got some high heat going there.
Yeah,
Get
we
some
do.
Nice charred crust on that.
Little char on the outside of that. And the reason why you want to sear your pork is so when you put it in the pan, it has a nice crust on it, but it also holds the juices in when you're cooking it and things like that. So,
Well, it definitely changes the flavor and the texture. And this is going to braise, and we're going to, you're searing this up, and then, did you say you're going to remove this from the pan after you get it seared?
we are. Yeah, we're going to remove it from the pan. We're going to deglaze the pan
Okay.
with a little bit of white wine. And after that, we're going to take and we're going to start working with our mirepoix and our herbs and things like that.
So now it's time to deglaze.
Deglaze.
All right.
So yeah, if you cook over a medium-high heat, you'll have some particles down the bottom of your pan. So you just come back in. You use a little bit of red wine, and you come back in and you deglaze your pan.
So before we left, in your futile attempt to burn down the college, we got a little bit of pieces of burnt flour in there, so that's why we strained that. But we left that fond, those little bits and pieces of flavor.
Absolutely.
With after wiping it out, but no burn flavor, right?
Right, absolutely.
So now you got your red wine.
There it is.
Is that UB40?
I think so.
You be Jim Barber.
I be Jim Barber.
And you're down to the bone.
Down to the bone, brother.
There you
That's the
go.
one. Yes, so deglaze your pan a little bit, get all the bits and pieces off the bottom of the pan.
The goodness.
All the goodness. Okay, then we move on to the good stuff. So we're gonna come in and we're going to put in our mirepoix, which is your carrots, your celery, your onions.
Okay.
Okay.
And you cut those in nice big chunks because you said this is going to cook for about 4 hours, right?
Yes.
So you want it to be mush.
Absolutely. And so you're gonna put these down so they're at the bottom of your pan.
Oh, yeah.
Like this.
You going to fit that pork in there?
Oh, I'm gonna try to. We'll see. Yep, absolutely.
A nest of veggies there.
A nest of veggies, right? So come back in, some garlic cloves.
Whole cloves?
Whole cloves.
There you go.
See, and and now we're going to add in our aromatics. So we have some parsley, some thyme, and some rosemary.
What about sage? Simon and Garfunkel.
Sage was not invited.
Simon and Garfunkel will be very upset. Parsley, rosemary, and thyme.
No
You
time.
left the sage out.
No.
You got time right there.
Oh, we got time.
And you better have time if you want to make this dish at home. If not, you're going to have to visit over at Chef Jason's, 1275.
You
right?
should visit Chef
Cranberry,
Jason's.
New Jersey.
100%.
Get you down to the bone,
Down
right?
the bone.
All right. Look at all that. And this is very homey, right? This is very,
absolutely.
classic food.
Total classic food. Come back in.
That's the other thing. People don't realize when they make things at home, it's like, okay, now I got to spend the money for all this rosemary.
Yes.
And the thyme.
Right.
And the parsley.
Right.
And they're paying retail prices as opposed to wholesale in a restaurant.
And they never sell exactly the quantity you need.
No,
It's
no.
going to be left
No.
over.
It's either you're getting like a little tiny bit or
Right.
you're getting way too much.
And of course, then you have the time factor, which we're taking the time out of it for you. So get them down nice.
Man, that's going to be
Everything
beautiful.
fits in here.
And I got to wait 5 hours to eat this? Is that what you told me?
No, you don't, because you just go to Chef Jason's at 1275 Chef Jason's, and you can get it right away.
See, he is a pro.
All right, so there we go. So that's the way it should look. So I come in with a little bit of chicken stock, and you're going to fill your pan up, probably about a little more than halfway,
Okay.
and then of course, red wine.
You're not going to join me?
boy.
Red wine.
Not only did you, you're way off on lyrics and pitch. Just saying.
The lyrics I thought I had.
Yeah, close to it.
pitch.
On that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Simon and Garfunkel, not so much.
So the last,
He didn't have the sage for it.
no, there's no sage.
Exactly.
Sage not
I
invited.
couldn't have the
Sage
word.
not invited.
What you got? You got some
Yep. Last,
San Marzanos?
San
or-
Marzanos, and these are whole peeled tomatoes. So we're gonna put this over
You're just
top.
putting those bad boys in
just
whole
like
that.
this, right?
This is rustic, man.
It is total rustic dish. It's not. This is not a difficult dish to make. But it's all about the technique and the time, and just waiting. Making sure that you spend the amount of time it takes to get the pork to fall apart and become super tender.
Well, that's what, again, in class we were saying that it's nothing. This is not rocket science. Anything we do is not rocket science.
Right.
But it does take understanding. It does take technique, and it does take knife skills, and it does take time and effort.
That's it.
So yeah, and when you've done it for a long time, when we do demos in class, it's nothing to us. But then we see the students, and we sometimes have to help them 2 or 3 times because it may be the first time they've ever done it.
Right. Sure.
And we take that for granted. Your level of knowledge and skills in the restaurant industry should be appreciated, and that's what your guests come out to get. Your knowledge, your skill,
Right.
your time, your effort.
Right. Absolutely right.
And that is truly appreciated right down to the bone.
Right down to the bone. Right down to the bone,
All
my
right.
friend.
So now what happens to this?
Absolutely. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna get the grab our lid.
Don't flip a lid,
Don't flip a lid.
and don't change the channel, because this is going in the oven.
Just like that.
Look at that.
So how are we going to start this?
Okay, so we're going to start this with like a little bit of water in your pan. We'll start to turn this on for a quick. So put a little sauce, a little bit of water in your pan. And we're going to come in with some red wine.
Can I do it one more time? There you go. Red wine. Oh, see, you saw that he was singing it.
Close to it.
Close to it. UB40
just
ain't
sucks
got
you in,
nothing
you gotta
on
be
us.
careful.
No, I know, exactly right. So you're gonna let this heat up a little bit, and you're going to add in a little bit of sugar.
I like where this is going already.
Yeah.
Red wine, sugar.
That's right. A little bit of salt.
And we always tell people salt opens up your taste buds on your tongue, which allows you to taste all the sweetness and deliciousness of this sauce.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
100%.
So what you're going to do is you're going to add some dark cherries into the mixture. You're going to cook this for probably around 10 minutes.
Okay.
And what you want your cherries to start to cook and fall apart and actually flavor the sauce and things like that. So you want to get a nice consistency and let that cook out a little bit.
So what else goes in this sauce? We got cherries, we got red wine, a little bit of water just to get it started, a little dash of salt, some sugar.
A little sugar. I always put in a little bit of balsamic.
Okay, and that's balsamic glaze, which is also a thicker, reduced version of a balsamic vinegar.
That's it.
Pre-made product, you can buy that pretty much any grocery store.
I think it's one of the best things you can buy in the grocery store. It's like
other than some down to the bone.
well, besides that, of course, yeah.
It is. It's a nice product, especially a lot of times for just doing plates decorations. Sure.
Yep, absolutely. So you reduce this down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon for some acidity. And then this is where the barbecue sauce comes in. So I add a little bit of my down to the bone barbecue sauce.
Ooh, is it possible to add too much?
Never.
I just wanted to try, Alan.
You never add too much.
You can always go back and get another jar.
That's exactly right. Stir this around a little bit and bring it out so it turns. You see it start to, the cherries will start to fall apart. Your sauce will start to glaze. You'll start seeing it get a little bit thicker. And last but certainly not least,
Oh, geez. Here's the hard stuff.
a little bit of bourbon.
Look at that. You got so excited. These
So
cherries.
excited.
They're like, yeah, give me some of that bourbon.
Put a little bit of that in there. A little love. That's right.
Now, would you normally flambe this, or you just let it cook down?
It'll cook down. I mean, the alcohol will cook out. So, you just want to let that simmer down to the point where I said it turns into a nice, nice glaze.
All right, so we'll let this finish reducing down, and then it's time to plate up, and then Frank's favorite part.
Here's the deal. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our pork ossobuco.
The pork shanks, that meaty pork shanks.
And these are
Oh,
just
look at that.
literally falling, what?
Off the bone.
That's right. Exactly right. Off the bone.
If it falls off, we'll see down to the bone.
So you'll see down to the bone.
I
That's
don't
right.
even know what all this talk is about. Can we plate this food up so I can eat, please?
Just the best barbecue sauce in the world.
You know what? We have a little risotto, a butternut squash, pea, and shiitake risotto.
Beautiful.
To accompany your delicious dish that's falling off the bone.
It's falling off the bone.
With sauce that's down to the bone.
Absolutely.
And can I get some on my
All
plate
right, so
already?
here's the deal. We're going to just take one more step. What we're going to do, we are going to, you want to help me out a little bit here?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to strain off all of the vegetables and herbs and everything that we had.
Stepping back, this is a splash zone here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm helping too, Chef. I'm helping
There
too.
you go.
I'm helping.
There you go. So, strain off some of the juices.
Uh-huh.
There we go. You can grab a spoon right
That's
there
what
for
we're
you.
looking for.
No.
Not bad? wait till it's finished.
Oh, this is all the good stuff.
That's the
Look at
good
that.
stuff, yeah.
Delicious right there.
Isn't that nice? So yeah, so all your carrot juices and everything else, and so you have that a nice,
that's beautiful.
beautiful base that's all that the pork and everything comes out of. So.
And if you wanted to, you can cook that down if you wanted to get it thicker and reduce it more if you wanted to. But,
Yes.
But man, I don't have time for that.
No.
I got to eat that.
We're gonna do this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come in here like this, all right?
You don't have to use that when somebody took a little nibble
Who
out
did
of
that?
it.
I don't know what's going on there.
Well, I'd like to say I plead the fifth, but I did it. And I'm proud of it. It was delicious, and I'm going to do it again with this one.
I love it. So we're gonna take our pork ossobuco and put it here in the center, and come through.
I'm putting some of that au jus on there.
Oh yeah.
Well, may I hold for you?
And absolutely.
Look at that. Look how beautiful
So
it is.
I'm gonna pour a little bit of this au jus over top.
Dress it up. Oh,
Right.
look at, can you hear that pork saying, oh, yeah.
Falls into your risotto. Sucks all that juices up.
Yeah, look at that
Nice.
deliciousness.
And then last, but certainly not least, that spoon.
I now pronounce
There we
me
go.
There you go.
pork and mouth. I may eat the pork.
Here you are, my friend. This is the last bit. This is
Oh, and
the
that
last
smells.
bit.
still.
It's delicious,
All
and
right,
I
this is
can't
the
wait.
most important part right here.
And that barbecue sauce, that down to the bone barbecue sauce, and no, not just because it's yours, but it really makes a big difference in balancing that smokiness and sweetness with your cherries.
Absolutely right.
Oh, look at
Just
that.
beautiful.
I would agree with you, but I can't taste it because someone took all the tasting spoons.
What?
Just saying.
Now, were you finishing off with that parsley you chopped
Oh,
off?
of course.
was that-
This is last but not least.
I don't know why I'm delaying being able to eat this, by the way. Give that a little wipe for you,
Little
chef.
wipe. There you go. Appreciate it.
Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you smell it?
Yeah, man. Grab a little bit over here.
Wait, hey,
Oh, so look at you.
Very territorial around his food.
Very territorial.
oh, look at this. Look at this. I'll share.
Is that right?
I'm going to try one. He
There,
just said, "I'll share."
there you go, my friend. There you go.
Wow. Beautiful thing here.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Would you like as well?
look at
Look how tender with a plastic spoon, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it falls right apart. Look at
Can I
that.
trouble you for a little more of that cherry with the down to the bone?
Sure, man. Of course.
Down to the bone. Chef Jim Barber, hit me with a little of that sauce. And Chef V's going to take us out as I stuff my mouth
That's you, my
with
friend.
this pork ossobuco with the cherry barbecue sauce demi-glace down to the bone, down to my stomach.
Down to the bone. Awesome stuff. Chef Jim Barber, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys
It's
for having
awesome.
me. Appreciate it.
Love you, man.
We love you too, brother. Appreciate it.
We'll visit you at the restaurant
Oh, yeah. You too.
and a supermarket.
Chef Jason's. 1275, Chef Jason's. Cranberry.
Oh, God.
That's the one.